plane. On the one hand, we were right, there are already rescuers working here. On the other hand, there was no plane crash at all. It's just a future rescuer's drill. The plane might be real, but the body is a fake. This fact doesn't make this picture less terrifying. Let's wish successful rescue missions to the guys as well as to the little kitten. What could be more mysterious than to find the deepest dark pit at the bottom of the ocean? And this daredevil is going to jump into this darkness. As you know, it's simply impossible to jump underwater. So he is on the point of swimming here. Despite of this, he is full of desire to investigate the uncharted waters and to thrill the sufferers from bathyphobia. Let him do this, and we are proceeding to the next picture. Everyone knows that dolphins have become one of the most favorite sea creatures, but looking at this picture, we might think that the guy who made it stopped caring for them. Let's get away from this nasty dolphin. In fact, there is nothing terrifying in this picture. An ordinary abandoned sunken ship, and a curious diver exploring it. Now imagine you're the diver, and the ship blades start spinning instantly at high speed. Undersea River. It's something like a SpongeBob fantasy story, but it's quite real. Recently, a vast undersea river has been discovered at the bottom of the Black Sea. The level of density and salinity of the water in such river is much higher than in the sea itself. Their rivers supply all necessary nutrients and minerals for their inhabitants. And probably knowing this information, the researchers decided to fish in the underwater river. It sounds strange, but it's a real fact. The Laurentian Abyss is famous for its monsters. You can see their images in the web, but to distinguish the Photoshop and the real pictures is not so easy. For example, these fish look terrifying and frightened at the same time. Perhaps even more scary creatures are their neighbors. The first place goes to a really horrifying picture. A pile of dead bodies in a form of a circle, teenagers standing in a form of a ring, and a huge crowd of people as if at a medieval market. All these are underwater sculpture park. You can imagine how the divers felt when they were swimming close to them, especially near those mountains of corpses. Anyway, the author of these sculptures should be honored. When being to Mexico, make sure to visit this underwater museum. Our diving is over now. Again, Bubble here. Put your brave like and subscribe to our channel, not to miss all our new cool videos. Hi there guys, do you know that only 4% of deep sea water has been explored? But even this was enough to take these awful pictures. Bubble, the scuba diver here, and these are 15 creepy deep sea photos. Let's go. At first glance, it looks like a scary underwater mutant's den. There arises the only question, what the heck is he doing here? There is a huge blue egg, and this freaky thing is gonna fall straight on the diver. But this is only our imagination. The truth is that man is an ice diver, and these objects are just huge ice cubes. But supernatural fans never give up. Let's swim further. What could be worse than an aircraft crash and the morning after that? Is it the plane's crash into the sea and sinking into the deep water? It's a terrifying picture. There's no information about the passengers of this plane, but you can see the pilot with your own eyes. In this picture, you can see a sunken yacht at the Antarctic coast. We have no information about the victims of this tragedy, but we know for sure that the yacht is underwater. To be more serious, it's not the first time that yachts have crashed against strange rocks under the water in this place. And if these are not rocks... No, it's not Photoshop. A huge whale is swimming under the tiny boat with people in it. The most interesting fact is that the people in the boat won't be able to see this marvelous creature. It looks like the danger close to us we didn't even know existed. Fortunately, the whales do not eat human beings, so far. I wonder how much he paid for such kind of pictures, and if he dies, will the salary be doubled? Speaking about death, I went a bit far, but for coming up to the lion's mane jellyfish, the largest known species of jellyfish, which eats up to 25,000 sea creatures, you should ask more. And now you're going to dive deep into the ocean waters, full of bloodthirsty sharks, and visit the cemetery of sunken Japanese ships. These ships were shipwrecked by American Navy forces at the beginning of 1944. They have become something more like artificial reefs for the period of more than 70 years. The scenery is frightening, weird, and charming at the same time. It looks like an enormous shark. Or it just may be a product of my imagination again. What the heck is this? Is this the army of octopuses? To tell you the truth, it's not. They are just seaweeds. I think it's Dottie to swim here. The sea monster. When you approach this creature, it might gobble you up. Of course, I'm kidding. This is a sunken ship, and those yellow pimples are the result of rusting and corrosion of metal. But even after knowing that, our imagination creates a picture of unbelievable sea monsters, but not the ship. At first glance, one can think that rescuers are trying to save people out of the sunken